Okay, after that I got to go for my supper and come dinner. I have a heavy lunch this afternoon with my goddaughter to celebrate her so-called finally completed her O level. So it's so happy, right? Yes. Okay, no, I'm just waiting for Xing Chen to come in. Anyway, today we're going to do a lot of things to cover up. So please, if you can, take out your textbook, okay? Young, if you're not sure anything, just raise out your hand and just let me know what you can have to do, all right? Okay? Yang, okay? So I know today is the first class. Most of them are here for quite a while already. So I think if can next time you got anything, just WhatsApp Uncle Raymond. I might be asking a lot of questions today from you, so don't get worried about not sure. Okay, don't worry. All right, so let's go to this one first. I want you to take note. I want to ask all of you. Okay, what do you see? Zhao Xuan, what do you see? Zhao Xuan.
I see passages. Yeah.
What do you see the one with being part of a globalized world? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's go. All right, we're going to straight away do this one. Just read through. We're not going to do that, huh? Okay. Xiao Wei, wait, change you change your name, Qiao Xing. You become Xiao Wei, 你是还珠格格啊? Okay, Qiao Xing, you can see this, huh? Okay, anyone is not eating except, okay, Lam Di, will you mind start with extract one, please? Let's go. In his opening speech.
In his opening speech during the dinner of the 2015 National Trade Union Congress, National Delegates Conference, Prime Minister Lee emphasized that Singapore cannot resist globalization and technology. If we try to do that, our economy will stagnate. Our workers will become stagnant. Our workers will become uncompetitive, and Singapore will be left behind. However, he acknowledged that in a globalizing world, Singapore faces competition for both developing and developed economies. And as the global economy is facing a slowdown, Mr. Lee warned that Singapore will also have to be prepared for a possible economic turndown.
This is every 10 years, guys. If you are going to go for further study in A-level in JC, which is A-level JCs or Polytechnic Finance and Business, now this topic economics is very important, demand and supply. At the same time, we talk every 5 or 10 years, there will have an economic downturns. Regardless of whether you're going for a war, economical war, or whatever kind of social war, or even the meltdown can be of a stock market like the Great Depressions. Some of you study history will know there's these Great Depressions, right? Yang Xiang, are you taking history for your Set 3?
No, I'm taking geography.
Okay. Ren Ye, are you taking history for your Set 3? Oh, can zoom in. Okay, I do my best to zoom in. Okay, but then you cannot see the other part of it. So it's a bit tough, sorry. Okay, because I'm using the land portraits, if you don't mind. Is it too small? Hi, Renier, I see your face. Thank you. Renier, do you take geography or history for your Set 3?
I take both.
Oh, good. Then you should know what is Great Depression, right? Right? Great Depression during the so-called 1925 and how Hitler came into power, that kind of stuff. So economic downturn, that's what we mentioned. Okay, if it's too small, I'm so sorry, but I'm doing my best to make it bigger for all of you. Because I want to one shot let you see everything, so that will be easier. Okay, now let's go back to this one. Bei Kun, what is NTUC? 不要跟我讲那个 fair price 卖那个买菜买水果的哈。
National Trade Union Congress.
You know, NTUC got many types. One is the NTUC fair price 海通，就是你去那些超级市场 ，OK？ Then we got NTUC childcare，就是小孩子。Then we got NTUC another group of trade union，就是这边就是管工人的。Okay，the three they call the tripartite. That means the governments, the employer, the employees. Now, Uncle Raymond is also an NTUC union members. Like for example, if I were to work, okay, in a company and I'm being retrenched at Haidong, okay, so I can ask for help from NTUC trade union to look for a new job to get compensation for my retrenchment benefits. Okay, then you ask, what got to do with these questions here, got to do with globalizations? Because first of all, I think this year there's this topic about Dyson coming to Singapore. Remember last week we did that one, right? Xiao Xing? Right, we did the Dyson coming to Singapore. Then later what happened? Thank God my goddaughter said, luckily the vacuum cleaner, remember, at first I was interpret wrongly, like Xiao Xing. I thought it was sucking in the money, right? But actually it's pouring out the money to Singapore, correct? So luckily she interpreted in this way, okay? Wait, give me a minute now. I'm replying to my colleague. Okay, so what is this NTUC trade union? Is important because, can you write down? Okay, this is got to do, can you write down? Number one is to protect workers, start with W. Yang Xiang, what is that W? End with E.
What?
Start with W, end with E. Is to protect worker, start with W and end with E. Ren Ye, you know what is the word?
I have no idea what's the word.
No problem. 赵贤，既然你笑得这么开心，那个是什么字呢？ Start with W, end with E. Inside got F 啦。Hello， 贝坤 ，What are you thinking？ 可爱的眉毛，亮弟大哥，什么字呢？ Hey guys, no more honeymoon already, yeah? You all next year set 4 already, oh. You all have to start really preparing now, no more like relax on seriously. That day my nephew also next year set 4. My brother-in-law already so kiasu already start preparing him for a series of tuitions. Okay, may include my social study until I tell my brother-in-law, hey, hold on, bro, give boy a break. Say no, cannot break already. It's so tough. 在我面前吃chewing gum哦，赵贤。you're eating in front of police officer, Please go away. Okay. 没有给我吃哦，等一下我包逗你啊。Okay, the word is called welfare. Write down, please. Okay, Yang Xiang, you miss out the word. The word is welfare. Okay, it's to protect the workers' welfare. Write down. Why got to do later on to involve in this globalization is because you don't protect the worker welfare. You don't give the jobs to. You talk waffle. Yeah, it's true. It's true, no. In a way that the employer is employers or the government is giving waffle to the employee 就是有饭吃嘛，海东 agree 了，对吗？Alright 了 ，at least waffle 是一个像 ，okay waffle that means you're very bad you're talking about Western food already, not Eastern food. 我喜欢小笼包。Okay, so take a joke away. So global economies affect workers' welfare. So NTUC union right now, okay, because some of you 海东你没有听过 NTUC union 哦？有听过吗，海东？So just nice So NTUC union, please Google it now and find and please that is your homework guys. Hello 小弟弟 ，Hello， 不要推他的must learn it's okay. My son just now behind, you didn't see him he put on the Squid Game the mask. Okay, so one is that okay NTUC union ready. Number one is to protect the welfare. Okay, the worker welfare. Number two, are you ready? Is to ensure, right? No, start with B, end with S. Start with B, end with S. Who can tell me?
What business?
No, very good, well done. 4个 alphabet 而已。有偏见。人也。
Bias.
That's right. Awesome. Yes. Write down. Is to protect worker from biasness. So I don't imagine now you're 60 years old. Qiao Xing, you're 70 years old. And then Zhao Xuan, 75 years old. So auntie, uncle, 爷爷奶奶 Okay. Then sorry Then Pei Kun 就讲 sorry you're very old already you cannot work. So sorry, you cannot do this and do that. So this is called biasness. Or maybe Pei Kun or Zhao Xuan, you are 40 plus, 50 plus. You know nowadays, especially like Uncle Raymond age, those between 40 and 50, they got this called mid-career switch. I used to work in a multinational company, all right, in big firms, in Fuji Xerox, okay, in Siemens Mattress and all these big firms. And after that, so-called the business was no good, was out of it. And then finally, my mid-career switch, I went to go to Ministry of Education as a teacher for 7 years. Then I quit my job. And now I'm here. And now I'm doing my eco-friendly things plus other things as well, like my tuition. Okay. So what happened is, what happened is this biasness is because right now, there means bias what? Sex, age, and race. Right now, please. Okay, NTUC Union will protect, no, say, imagine, say, hello, sir, I'm very Indian, I'm come here to work. Can I have a job with me? Then you say, oh, sorry, sir, because you're Indian, you switch off the light, I can't see you, you smell, you show your teeth, then I give you the job. I say, you bloody hell, you're racist, are you? What is this, man? I'm going to tell NTUC Union, I'm going to sue you, man. 你们笑哦，在新加坡不可以这样。I mean, sorry, you know other countries they do that, right?海东, right? Imagine your color and my color, we go to a country, the one like that one. You know, is this one called Statue of Liberty lah? Statue of Liberty, correct or not? Statue of Liberty got this one, right? Right, Yang Xiang, correct. Sorry, you the two of you, you might be new to me. This is how I teach my SS and history. So Qiao Xing, so in order to prevent this, then imagine a Malay come, hello, abang, I like to have a job, grab food. All Malay must be grab food 最近在 TikTok 有一个很出名的 auntie 你们有看 TikTok 吗？最近在 TikTok 里面有一个 auntie 讲到那个 grab food， 有吗？赵璇 ，you know that？ 贝坤亮弟你知道吗？ Got this auntie was saying about grab food very， 哎呦你们真没有用做 grab food 哪里赚多少钱还有那个黄雷卖鱼卖到整身臭臭。Excuse me, I was quite very annoyed行行出状元 In fact, all jobs. In order, she's doing that, according to what people say that she's doing that is to encourage people to work as a real estate property. Same thing, why must be Malay, must be grab food? It cannot be Chinese and Indian, man. Right, true now, Zhao Xuan, agree now, Hai Tong. Right. And then do you know, most of the time, recently I shared with my the other side one, do you know some of the Bangladesh worker, you know Bangladesh? Right, you say in HDB or condo, you will know those people are 印度人对吗？他们扫地那些扫地的工人他们不是印度人他们是 Bangladesh a country near India, alright? So what happens? Some of them they are graduate, no? Pei Kun, they are graduate, no? It's surprised, right? Right, you're surprised, right? Some of them are graduate and diploma. They say, hey, how come? You know what happened? They told me, I can't find a job in my country. I come here to work at it is. And they can, some of them can speak very well English. 做人5个字，不要狗眼交心，不要什么狗眼什么。
狗眼看人低。
对 ，cannot. This is what the NTC unions we are talking about. Thanks to Ren Ye, no biasness. Right now, no prejudice, no discriminations. NTC union protect all Singaporeans and PR citizens, regardless of race, language, or religions or race. Not like hello, abang Malay, you know, actually do that. No, there's no Indian or Chinese or Malay or whatever or Eurasians. Okay, or Baba, as long as you hold your pink IC, you serve your national service, you protect the country, you pay your taxes, you contribute to Singapore society, we will help you to look for a job. No one is left behind. If you could watch this movie, history student, I urge you to watch We Were Soldiers. Okay, it's a very true story by how the US went to Vietnam to attack. It's a very true story. And this colonel told the whole entire platoon, I will not promise you to bring you back alive, but I will definitely be the last one to leave the battlefield. I will leave no man behind. It's a true story. We were soldiers. Okay? So this is where NTUC union take note, children. that you have to go and research, go to the website now. Okay, I cannot spend one entire lesson to tell you what is NTUC Union. This is a government's initiated right now, a system where they protect the workers' welfare. They make sure there's no biasness, discriminations, all right? And the most important thing about dollar and cents, 明白吗? So for example, Zhao Kun, you're 30 years old, I already 60 years old. Now tell me, Qiao Xing, who do you pay more? Okay, so Zhao Xuan got a master degree, okay? Zhao Xuan got a master degree, now he's 30 years old. So your boss, Qiao Xing, you also you graduated already, so you got a master degree. So Uncle Raymond also 60 years old now, let's say we fast forward. And then I also got a master degree. Who will you employ? Okay, so Zhao Xuan and I, so you have to put everything constant. Remember science are Ren Ye and Yang Xiang. When you're PSL, you must put everything constant, right? When you do an experiment. So Qiao Xing, now Zhao Xuan跟我都是新加坡人. Who will you employ? Can all of you participate also? Not just Qiao Xing,
Like confirm like hire Zhao Xuan because like one he is younger so he can serve and like help more. Then like yeah.
你是不是怕他打你啊？等一下他去你家打你是吗？所以你 support 他，不用紧不用紧，我已经在叫兄弟在外面，在你的家外面等他了，不用紧，不用怕。If you're still scared, when you're still scared, you can call Yang Xiang because he's an air shooter, so he will be a sniper there. Don't worry. So Qiao Xing, you're being protected. Okay, joke aside, why? Besides this, it doesn't make sense,
I'll hire you lah, cause you're older, then got more experience.
Thank you. Okay, but do you know? I think okay. How about Ren Ye? Who will you employ? Me or Zhao Xuan? You don't do this in your class in school. And but please, I'm teaching you in the real life one. Sorry. So if you cannot get used to it, I'm so sorry.
Honestly, I think experience matters more. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't forget, children. Pei Kun and Liang Ti, while you're listening, you don't forget, Uncle Raymond 60 years old already. That means 我的 spare part 你懂什么叫 spare part 我的身体可能老板老板Qiao Xing我不舒服老板Qiao Xing I need to go X-ray. You know, thing I say, you don't forget, no. Because of my experience, they will tie with my wages. I will be more expensive. Agree? Just like 古董 right, 海通。一个古董当然是越贵啦。Okay, let's talk about wine. I hate to drink wine. We all know that the older the wine, the more expensive, right? The same concept, right? Right. So which one do you think? After all, 你喝进肚子就是这样，不小便出来了吗？What got this? Just that few seconds you enjoy the commemorate or the bonding with your families or your friends. Now, to be honest, okay, what Qiao Xing did was correct. Getting a Zhao Xuan, you know why? Because maybe Uncle Raymond, Ren Ye and Yang Xiang, maybe the company have to pay me $6,000 for a job to be done. But Qiao Xing can employ another 2 person like Zhao Xuan and Pei Kun, 3,000 each to do a job. You get an idea now? So of course I'm not happy already, right? 哇，这个老板 too much. Then 我去找 NTUC, 我就找海通。海通 I bang on the table. How come like that? Wow, this boss like that, employ 2 person. I also got master degree. I also got experience. I got this. Then Hai Tong say, Mr. Raymond Shong, can you please fill out the form? And then we'll talk about it. Then I fill out the form. Then you bring out to the other colleague called Liang Ti. Liang Ti will interview me. Okay, so sorry, Uncle Raymond, you have to understand now. This is a job requirement. This thing. Then he asked me this. Do you know how to use Python? You mean 那个蛇不可以啦，那 Python 我不可以，我很怕蛇的。Do you know how to use cloud? 你神经病啊！你以为我是蜈蚣咩？去 cloud 做什么？所以你这个也不会，那个也不会，你会什么？我会泡果啤，你懂什么泡果啤吗？我会泡咖啡。Example joke right? So Ren Ye, you laugh right? I'm so sorry, children. Our grandparents' time will lack the experience of IT experiences. Having a smart nation, ladies and gentlemen, you have to learn, relearn, and unlearn. Unfortunately, Uncle Raymond will not learn the coding called Python. Cloud computing, until today, I'm a graduate in the business IT. I'm a second upper class. Until today, you ask me programming, I tell you I die flat. I don't love programming. But nowadays, this is part and parcel of programming. Your life had to involve that. But Zhao Xuan and Bei Kun has kind of ideas in this concept. Who is scared of me now? Okay. So what happened? I'm reading at the chat. Sorry. So what happened is that you have to understand the NTUC. Liang Di will explain to Uncle Raymond. Say so. If you want to continue to be right now, employability. Unemployed and become re-employability. Uncle Raymond, you have got skill what? Bei Kun, skill what? F with E inside of F.
Future.
Yes, you have to take right down. Yang Xiang, you know, right? Skill future. You know 啦，人也 skill future， 就是说新加坡每个人有500块可以去学东西，还是你去一个 company。If you don't mind, I like to mix. I speak both Mandarin and English. Same in when I'm teaching in my school also. Okay. Of course, enough when my class got Indian and Malay, I will speak English. Sometimes I will speak a bit of Malays to my Malay students. Okay. So now you understand this the importance of not being right now, being discriminating the aging populations. Because the government say the retirement age of Haitong right now is 67 years old. I heard they're going to 70 years old. Then Haitong asked me, Uncle, 你跟我讲做什么？我才16岁，鸡蛋糕，你在侮辱我的人格哈？不是这样哈，海东宝贝，因为这个题目很重要，会出在 SBQ。then 你就要知道了。then 你说啊，跟我什么事 ？then 你要知道那个 CPF retirement fund 哈，要 involve CPF then 你要 involve 到什么？你懂吗？那个medical health care 所以全部都是 link 的 ，my dear，all link。social studies link。So my brother-in-law Bei Kun was saying that, wow, Raymond, social study very wide how to study. And guess what because of this word that he told me Liang Di, I decided to write down all the possible things. Give me some time, guys, because I'm preparing something. Give me some time, hopefully by end of this month or before next year. I'm going to list out all the important things that social study is going to cover. Number 1 is CPF, write down. Number 2, this is the one, workforce. Number 3, education. You know EduSave? You know about EduSave, right, Chelsea? Do you have EduSave now? Sorry. Are you all Singaporean citizens?
Nah, got lah.
You have all?
Yeah.
So you realize that not the beauty that's why I tell you I should every now understand why when I go to my class during my ex-teachers, when I go to my class, I will to my student, then they bow to me because I respect my student. They come to school to learn because so that next time they be the leaders to lead the country. 所谓善良不正下良歪，对吗？杨翔 right? We need to have the proper structures. Now you understand? So I go and look at Liang Di. Liang Di say, hey, Raymond, sorry, Uncle Raymond, by looking at your this kind of situation, what is Python, don't know what is cloud, and then you don't know what is AI. Ahmad Ibrahim. No. Artificial intelligence. 早讲啦 AI, why use all the acronyms? Why? So don't know what is, do you do your art? You mean 画图画? No, your nose. 哎呀，早讲 see? So you realize those 婆婆奶奶爷爷公公they are this age they learn about all these things. So my jobs luckily my generation still educated about Liang Di. So I understand. Then I say, hey, Liang Di 怎么办? I need to feed my family. No. How? Hey, don't laugh children. They are all those 60 plus in Singaporeans. They are still single and bachelor. Some of them poor thing the wife is cancer. The husband still have to continue to work. And to be honest, to be a cleaner in Singapore is only $1,200. After deducting CPF and minus the expenses, they only got $600-700. How to cover their wife cancer for chemotherapy and medicine? This is where thank you to all your parents. Why? Renier, why I thanks your parents? Why I thanks your parents, Yang Xiang? Why? Why you all freeze? Bei Kun, Liang Di, Haitong, Qiao Xing. Why? Zhao Xuan.
Is it got buy insurance?
No. Okay, thanks. I like the way you respond. Well done. Good. Zhao Xuan. Do you know why the government encourage foreign talents to come to Singapore and encourage more birth rates? All these are issues. 海通为什么 为什么我要感谢你们的父母亲？Don't know 啊，人业。
Because Singapore
happened is-
got not enough talented people.
Yeah, lah, but I thanks to your parent got something what?
Boost their economy.
Yes, correct. You are very close to my answer. 海通为什么？贝坤为什么？乔欣为什么？以后你们长大哦，你们出来的哦，你也是会这样的。我也是要感谢你们。That's why now you know why when I go to my class, I bow to my student because they respect their parents. They're going to respect themselves to come out to be a good person. Yes, Pei Kun, what is your answer?
Is it because they pay taxes?
Well said. That's the word. Write down. It's true. They pay taxes. You see, in other country, some country, I don't want to mention which country, sensitive. Some country take their taxes. How they use the taxes, the money. For example, in Singapore right now, we have GST, we got value added tax, we got import and export tax, we got free trade agreements, we got all the corporate tax, the personal tax, and then the COE. You know COE, right? You know what COE not? You buy car, right? COE. Then you got ERP, right? You know what's ERP, right? All this money the government collected, they distributed accordingly to the respective group of people that need the money to survive through. Example, like for example, like Mr. Tan, example, I say I'm just giving Mr. Tan, the wife got cancer, got no money, but got no children. They stay in one room flat. Okay, and some even stay in D.R. Moy's old folks home. Then 这些你没有听过那个 President Charity 请拨190006868捐献你们的存款。Now you understand why? You donate the money to help others, to ensure, write down, to ensure, okay, that everyone's have equal footing. Okay, that's what the first E, to ensure. And the second one is what? To enable that everyone's have a stake for all. Ensure, enable, and the third one is to what? What is the third E? Ensure, enable, and what is the third E? Anyone? Entertainer. To entertain everyone. To have an everlasting effect. Okay, the word everlasting effect. How? So that make sure that, you know, the next generation, your generation, what implement of policy are you going to have? Okay, let's move on to extract 2. Don't take too much time. So now you know what is this extract 2. Yang Xiang, can you read to the class, please?
Oh, okay. Cultural exchanges can result in cultural homogenization. This process can be seen in various areas such as language. The prevalent use of English has been perceived to have a homogenizing effect, which can affect the diversity of languages in the world.
Okay, my goodness. So are you telling me this extract that the cultures will be replaced by a language called English, or is it going to replace a language by French? Do you know? I don't know about you. If you like it, please show your emoji thumbs up. Do you like to go to France? Anyone? So nobody thumbs up. I will never want to, if I were to travel the whole entire Europe, I would not go to France because I don't like the way they talk. Bonjour is very good. So you speak English, speak properly. Because French people talk like that. You got any problem with me? Bon appétit. Merci beaucoup. Sorry, because I'm not disturbing them, but I'm just saying that if you go to France, I heard 道听途说, I may be wrong, that if you speak to them in English, they prefer excuse me, it's like speak to my Google Siri, translate for me, something like that. Many years ago, my friend went to France. He's a Malay, and he asked for some chili. The chef came out, felt that very insulting. Why my food is not spicy enough? And maybe now, as you can see, France is quite turmoil. And you know about assimilation, right? They only allow their kind of cultures. Okay, if you are Muslim or other religion, you go there, you must follow their culture. Well, Singapore is diversity, right? Yang Xiang, you study the assimilation and you know, right? In France, you have to follow because France, you have to understand their history since the Napoleon 的时代, or even all the way to their history of 200, 300, 400, of 1,000 years ago, right? And France are very devoted Christian. Okay, they are very devoted. In fact, they are the most Catholic, like myself. I'm a Roman Catholic, right? So you have to understand the cultures. Will it take over? So if you go to the culture, are you going to replace the Chinese or Mandarin or English? Or if you go to Korean, are you going to learn Koreans? Or you go to Germans? Do you know, guys, if you all want to have free education for university, go to Germany. It's free. I'm not bluffing you. Because my friends, the two daughter, okay, was born in Singapore. They went to Germany because when they are young, they follow my friend to German. They know how to speak German, write Germans. And now they graduate in German's university. One of them is working in Germany. All right, it's free education, I don't. If you really want, you can take out the German language, pass, go there for the exam. You can study in any university. The only thing you pay is the accommodation. Okay, I heard it's about 6,000 to 7,000 euro per year. Depends on what hostel you're staying, but now I don't know what is the fees. Okay, so this is another way of diversity. This is another way of globalizations. Because I heard nobody in Germany, I may be wrong again, that they want to go for university to study. So there are a lot of university in Germany, but not many students. So now they have to encourage more students come in, okay, to study. Same thing in Singapore, right? 为什么还有华中，还有那个什么，还有 RV River Valley? Why there are still so many Chinese schools? Whereas back in 1950, if you study the history of Singapore, right, there's this very anti-Chinese because of communism. But Mr. Lee Kuan Yew bring me out. And do you know Lee Hsien Loong and Lee Hsien Yang, both their children are Cat High, 公教 Catholic Highs graduate. So you see, we need to know our children, ladies and gentlemen, we all talk about the roots. So extract two. If you're going to take away homogenization, take away that state, man, China history 5,000 will be gone forever, to be honest. Like this afternoon, I came back from my Plaza Singapura shopping, I came back. I sit down with my younger son to go through the Chinese 作文. Even some of the word I still cannot remember, I Google and type it in. Okay, the teacher called me out and say, Mr. Raymond, your son did not pay attention to do this compo. So I sit down, he said, I cannot, he can speak very well English, even though I'm an English teacher. But I always tell my students, I tell my teachers and my children, you can feel my English and my maths and science, if you Chinese, good luck to you. Then my children argue with me, Daddy, that doesn't make sense. But if you feel English, you can go, no, you can't go anywhere. But I told him, if you feel Chinese, you don't have your roots. Which one is more important? Okay, this one. Okay, you don't believe, Renye, read number 3, please. Extract 3.
Cultural exchanges can result in cultural hybridization. Cultural exchanges can result in cultural hybridization. This process can be seen in various areas such as music, where different genres can be blended to produce new genres of music.
I will never forget, thank you, Renye, Chelsea, that your tap dance, the lion tap dance, is something like this. Okay, I will never forget that. This one, maybe I'm thinking, in fact, I'm still thinking like Chelsea. I'm waiting to open up and talk to my Sifu, who is, I told you, is a lion dance, and my Sixiong about this. I'm thinking of this, how to bring out the beauty of it now. If next generation is not going to perform lion dance, 完蛋了，真的是。Renye and Yang Xiang, do you know 什么是端午节吗？
Yeah.
你懂端午节是什么原因来的吗？
Don't know. Just know God, but don't know.
假啦，惨了。你就是端午节是吃什么？吃月饼对吗？端午节吃月饼对吗？海豚在笑 ，OK 啦，不是吃月饼 ，OK， 吃那个团圆那个圆，
圆圆的东西 ，yes，
圆圆的东西 ，Oh my God， 海豚，
是有没元宵啊？
吃那个圆，你说吃说汤圆啊？元宵是元宵，端午节是端午节啦，良币 correct 哦，不对错，端午节是吃粽子，对吗？海豚 ？My goodness，难道吃八卦？ Hello, get your history correct. Then you can laugh, all what you can. Then my student asks, hey uncle, what the hell? Okay, it's a Singaporean. What the hell, why you eat the bacang for what? 粽子. Or just because this guy was diving to the river. Why you dive lah? Then why must he eat the 粽子 for what? So now you see, the reason of 七言跳进是为了因为那个国家在那个七国的时候 the seven kingdoms they fight 对吗 You correct me if I'm wrong 岳飞死的时候就是那个秦桧害死他所以我们有那个油条吃这些都是历史文化我们传下来的 We cannot replace but we can change it like something like Romeo and Juliet Hamlet into a very common into a very westernized but into a way that we bring back Nowadays, to be honest, we are all being controlled by Americanizations and globalizations. At the end of the days, the roots itself will be eaten up by parasites. The parasites is not because of the ants that eat. Listen, the parasite right now is the thoughts, is the belief that will erode the whole entire cultures. That is why now you understand why the Taliban, the Muslim, they call the terrorists. They feel that their cultures, their religions, and their value and the tradition things are being destroyed by Americanizations. So therefore, they have to preserve. But sadly to say, some of these are very sensitive issues. Like for Taliban, the Malala, the ladies who were being shot by Taliban, because they against the girls to go to school. Hello, Yang Xiang, 这是什么时代了？中国的 astronaut 已经飞去太空都找不到嫦娥。嫦娥已经 migrate to Mars and Jupiter 了，对不对？ So this is a different 年代。So 人也 1000 years ago， 如果我跟你是书生在宋朝的时候，我跟你讲，人也我要奔去月亮，你跟你讲，你头脑进水。Now 1000 years later, this who are Benson, George Benson, was it Sir Benson from England, right? He already bought the rocket and fly out of the space. So this is what I mean by certain things are now. Hybridization is good. We cannot have homogenization. We have to mixtures. So Chao Sing, to talk about the lion dance itself, we need to preserve right now. Hybridization is to help to preserve, to protect, and to prevent. Okay? To preserve a culture, to protect a culture, and prevent the culture from being lost. If we do not have this, we cannot perform to something that we want. That is what? Sorry, are you Chinese? I think so. Why? Because my great grandfather from China, but somehow rather my dear father is from Germany, and my grandfather is from Japan. So I'm not sure whether I'm Chinese or not. Oh my goodness. Then end up how? Now you understand why I think Xi Jinping Ye. That's what most of the Chinese children will call him Xi Jinping Ye. Saying that now you cannot have dual citizenship. Either you become a Chinese or you give up your Chinese citizenship. Is it wrong? Which, like what Singapore is doing the same. You must have patriotism. You must have loyalty. You must have faith in your country. If you do not have, that means you have dual citizen, you are saying that maybe I'm playing my chance. Okay, that's not fair to a country where spent a lot of money, I don't correct for you already. So for example, you are a PR, they give you certain requirements. And then you decided to give up, then you say, bye-bye, I'm going to go back to my previous country. Is it fair to people who are born Singaporeans? We welcome you with open arms. Hey, come, join us as fellow citizens. You took the pledge and everything. But later then, you 觉得这个地方没有存在的价值, you decide to move away. Does it make you fair? Okay? So extract one state describe the challenges of participating in the global economy. In your opinion, how can Singapore ensure, you see the word ensure already, ensure that we remain competitive in the global economy? Explain your answer using two strategies. One of the strategies is continue for learning educations. The other strategy is continue to bring in expertise. Unfortunately, children, you all did not study the old social study textbook. You check with your senior whoever. This last chapter in social study for set 4 is called Venice. You know Venice, Italy, Venice. So Venice was so popular in such a way that it was free for 1000 years without any foreign intervention until Napoleon came in and attacked. So during the booming time of Venice, this is where they allowed, you know who is Marco Polo, right? You know who is Marco Polo, right? He went all the way from Venice to China during the Genghis Khan，就是那个成吉思汗的年代啊。So this is the reason. You see, history, those of you who study history is an SS, good luck to you. It's very good because it's a very good platform later on if you study law, business, things more of the humanities, political science. Okay, like tomorrow I have a boot camp. We're talking about a quick one. Liang Di, number and words. Which one do you think is more important to you?
I think can you repeat again?
Yeah, I sent in the chat group already. Number and words. Which one is more
No.
important?
Like for what?
To you. I won't tell you. You tell me which one is more important. Do you believe in numbers or believe in words? Which is more important to you?
Numbers.
Okay, thank you. Pei Kun. So count for me, number. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them.
Words.
Words. Hai Tong. 1,
Number.
2. Xiao Xing.
Words.
Zhao Xuan. Zhao Xuan. Words or number?
Words.
Yang Xiang.
Number.
Ren Ye.
Words.
Okay. To be honest, number, if I say Liang Di, you are number 1, you feel good, right? Oh, number 1, feel good. But I haven't finished. Liang Di, you are number 1's really ASSHOLE, for example. Liang Di, you are number 1 useless guy. You want not? If I say Liang Di, you are number 1 top leader, you are a kind person in the whole entire school. You see, the words make the difference of number. Agree? Pei Kun, you choose word, right? Okay. Wow, Pei Kun, you are nothing but a really good person who help a lot. Even though you are top number 1 in the class, but you are a very humble person. Get it? You get it? The words itself is more powerful than number. If you have say, Ren Ye, you got $1 billion. Yang Xiang, you got $1 billion, which is US, 1 billion, not 1 million. You feel good, right? But the 1 billion, but you say, but do you know, they say, wow, so Yang Xiang and Ren Ye so how lian one, got 1 billion, no. But do you know, these two gentlemen has donated half of his wealth to charity. That is the last part, more important than the numbers that you have. Make sense? That's the argument. So to be honest, words itself, you see, you can tell mommy you're number 1. No big deal, right? Number 1. But you put them, I love you with all my heart and soul. How I wish that for the next 3 of life, I also want you to be my mommy forever. Which one is better to say, mommy, you're number 1, or the next 3 gen life, I want you to be my mother? 好像那个情侣真的很肉麻，我们不能一生一世在一起，我们不能天长什么地久，只在现在拥有鸡蛋糕啦。你买房子给我吗？你有钱给我吗？对不对？你有事业给我吗？ So in life, it's all about words than number. Okay, so let's talk about this one. Number 2, the extract 2 and 3 reflects on the impacts of of culture homogenizations and culture hybridizations of culture diversity. How far do you agree that culture homogenizations has a greater impact on culture diversity than culture hybridization? Explain your answer. One of them, okay, this one I will put into Google Classroom. I expect you guys to do your homework and hand it to me. Okay? But if you don't hand it up,
I'm not in.
No, wait. Don't worry. Don't come chill. Don't be a typical Singaporean student, please. Okay? Don't be a wait. I always got 3 choices for my student. 1, you finish the whole entire essay. 2, you do half. 3, you don't feel like doing, don't do. I'm serious. Okay, you don't do. And my job is don't go and ask your parent and call me and tell my classmate, tell my colleague, say, my son, my daughter never do homework. And please, okay, I don't like this type of thing. You are all leaders. You're mature enough. You got 3M. You're able to manage, mature, and motivate yourself. You don't do that, it's your pasar. I don't like, even as a discipline teacher in my previous school, my job is to chase all my students to hand in homework. The first thing is I always tell them, Mr. Shaw, don't give me 1,000. You got 1,001 reason. Okay, I'm not interested to hear that. At the end of the day, if you can pass your exam without handing homework, I don't care. That's my style. But unfortunately, in school, right? Yang Xiang, You need to hand in. So my student don't hand in homework. My job is to make them to sit there. 好像陪太子读书. After school, they got detention. I will sit there and watch them do their homework. So boring, right? So sometimes I say, it's so boring. Take out your handphone. Can take out handphone. And take out lah. Also, if the principal walk past, you die, I die long. Okay. But I WhatsApp my girlfriend can. I WhatsApp my mom. But you look up, see whether the principal. So sometimes in life, guys, I leave it to you. You want to hand in, the more you do, the better you are. Okay? Because it's no point I'm going to chase you and then you give me a lousy piece of work. I'm not saying I don't do hand in homework. I'm just giving an example. 对吗？海东，就像你 I will never forget you told me your teacher only one whole year give one SRQ. Why? Good luck to you. Next year, God bless you. So I don't, you know why just now in the beginning of the lesson, I asked you whether you got my WhatsApp or my email. Okay, because you're going to fall behind quite a bit. If you're going to start all these things. So your job, like Jia Ling not in today. Jia Ling has been doing that. At first you come in, also you see Wei Miao. Because of Wei Miao that day, okay, he attend my free lesson for 3-4 lessons in history and SS. And the last day itself, it came out this question for me to help him. And because of the way he give out the answer, the question, remember the assimilation, it benefited the next day, the O-level exam for the students. Okay, so I'm not going to draw line. Okay, that day, if in fact, a few days ago, I do a free Zoom with him until 11:38 p.m. 11 guys, if you want to follow me all the way to next year, don't draw line on. You got any question you're not sure, uncle, I got this question, I'm not sure. Send it to me. You know Yu Ming, right? Yu Ming, not the other set 4N student, Liang Di, you know, right? There's this set 4 students. Okay, he came in also, N level. 1 week before, 2 weeks before, he asked me help for English and then asked me to mark his compo. I can walk the extra miles because you are leader. If you don't want to hand in your homework, I don't like to force. I rather you to hand in your homework and put it in, then you put in your effort. This is what I want to see, okay? So Yang Xiang, because you are now having a trial lesson, if you want to continue, just ask for my colleague, I want the Google Classroom. You just put it there, okay? And enjoy my student to hand in homework. Why? Because I'm marking a leader homework. I'm not marking a student homework. That's the difference. If I mark a leader homework, means quality. I can tell whether you hand in today, 3 days ago, or 1 week. Already proven. Uncle, how you know I hand in yesterday one? You mean you got camera in my house? I can tell lah. I've been teaching for so many years. Okay, not 100% correct. So I told, if you still want to more 的在那边就那个 free lesson 进来then good luck to you. Okay. I'm telling you, to be honest, not many social study teachers are very devoted to give a lot of times to help. Seriously, let's be honest. There are still a lot of good social study teachers, but because of their accumulation of time, sometimes you see in school, if I help you, I don't help the student, I feel bad, correct? Right? Then you feel very unbiased. They say, wow, this teacher help the other class, never help my own class. But you have to understand, because your own class, the student never asked for help. This happened to me. He said, Mr. Sean, why you help the other class, never help my class? I say, you didn't come and approach me. 你听过这个句话，姜太公钓鱼，燕者三钩 ，right？ 对不对？你没有 willing to come, how should I help you? So this question here, you have to go and dig out and ask yourself, is it, I already give you some answer already, all right? Now I stop here, I'm going to go through this one to share with you.
Am I go toilet?
Let's go together. Go. I'm going to
The other one you say, is it the 姜子牙?
姜子牙
The one you said 愿者上钩 one.
是不是姜子牙吗？是姜子牙吗？是姜太公是姜子牙哈。
Yeah, it's him.
OK， 因为刚才我今天早上看我的太太看那个《奔跑吧兄弟》，原来有那个姜子牙在讲说愿者上钩。OK， you go toilet also no need to. OK， what do you see, guys? 任烨 what do you see? Because the other laptop cannot show me anything. So sorry. What do you see? You see a slide called chapter 5? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, no, this is not what I want to show you. I want to show you the other one. Okay, now is that the correct slide? Chapter 10, sir?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. While waiting for Liang Ti to come back, okay, which is better, homonizations or hybridizations? Example, Singapore. Tell me quick, Ren Ye, is Singapore the first H or the second H? The H1 or the H2? Hey, Kuna? Yeah.
Wait,
Hybridization.
sorry.
Yes, H1 or H2? Singapore.
Hy-
Homo or hybrid?
hybrid.
Hybrid, Okay, thank you. Hai Tong? I get back to you, Ren Ye, don't worry. Hai Tong?
Hybrid.
Hybrid. Xiao Xing?
Wait, do you hear me now?
Huh?
Wait, do you hear me now?
Wait, who is talking? Ren Ye, you
Oh,
hold on.
Ren Ye, yeah.
Xiao Xing?
Hybridization.
Okay, hybrid, okay. Zhao Xuan?
Homo.
Homo, okay. Yang Xiang?
Hybrid.
Okay. Ren Ye,
Hybridization.
you are right to say, Zhao Xuan, to a certain extent, Singapore is homonizations because Singapore does not have these things like France, like Japan, like Korea, like maybe China. Yes, China. And I would say US and Singapore are more or less the same. Like Malaysia itself is more to a homonizations to take over the cultures. So nothing wrong to say that, Zhao Xuan, you are right in certain degree, is certain things that is homonizations to replace. That means they take over like whole entire Americanizations. The worst part is that if Singapore were to become homonizations, it will erode the rest culture, like right now. Okay, what is that? One will be, okay, so the rest is, Thailand, of course, the cultures. So this thing involved right now, based on this thing here, right now. When you talk about H and H, we talk about cultural, which just now you saw, right, Yang Xiang, the SRQ, right? We talk about cultures, hybrid or homo or culture diversity, right? So is it culture or entertainment or food or fashion or venue or religions? What impact and causes? Which one do you think 1 to 6 is the most serious one? I think last week we roughly go through, right? I want to go more detail on this. 1 to 6, which one do you think has the most consequences and impact, regardless of homonizations or hybridization?
I still want to choose 5 values.
Values
Yes.
价值观对吗？
Yes.
写下来，为什么价值观很重要呢？ OK， 你 just 简单的讲1-2个句子，你要用华文讲，用英文讲，要用法语讲，要用德语、日语讲都可以。
Because I think it shapes one's personality and identity.
So big deal. You shake already, so what's so big deal? Come on, correct. Your answer is correct, my dear. Always write down Yang Xiang and Ren Ye. Always write down so then how. So you shape someone, right? Identity and value, right? This is what you say, right, Hai Tong? Agree?
Yeah.
Then what kind of impact? You shape already the value then?
And then it determines one's future, like
you preserve the value for a longer period of time right now. Then you will preserve. Once you shape, you preserve. How? How you do it? How you preserve the value? That is the most difficult part. You see, why you study and how you study is different. Right? Agree, Yang Xiang? Why you study? I study because my mother forced me to study. Yeah, I tell you, you go and slap yourself. Sorry, not this answer, right? I study because whole family study. I have to study what? Study got many meaning. I study in terms of really study in the academic. I study how people steal. I study how people do business. 可以吗? So the study is different meaning. Yes. Yang Xiang, why you study?
To do well for exams.
Okay. How you study?
Revise.
do questions, look through lor.
Okay, same thing. Okay, I ask you, why you like air rifle?
Because it looks cooler, ma. Pistol like
Okay,
not cool.
okay, how you practice your air rifle?
How I practice, before I shoot, check the stance, dry fire a few times, get the motion.
Then you got step 1, right? You have to load and unload, make sure behind got no people, in front got these clear things, right? And then when you unload, make sure there's no bullet inside there, because you have to no doubt you're firing blank. Sometimes you're firing live round, right?
Yeah.
So you make sure you don't turn your gun to the outside. Sir, cannot shoot. You can turn your gun. Sir, cannot shoot. So you realize that how the method now, Haidong. Thank you, sir. Haidong. So that you understand the method, the how is where you must have to tell me how to convince me that the values is the most important, the essential. Because once you lost it, that means gone. No value means the whole structures of the whole things will not be accessible. Something like that. 你明白吗，海东？记住当你要做 SRQ， 各位仁兄you always use the so then how. So culture is important. Then culture talk about the way our forefathers through many years. How? For example, culture can refer to what? Chinese New Year. We cannot miss out. Don't tell me because I miss my ang bao. I got no read packet. Please don't give me this kind of answer. How? Because the culture passing down from generation and generation. So entertainment is important. Then why entertainment? Without entertainment, life will be very boring. How entertainment beautified the life? For example, lion dance and the dragon dance. It walk off the evils as what the suspicious, the belief that bring out the values. And this is the religions. And the fashion is that because of the fashions, the last time people, the way they wear the cheongsam, they now modify into a new type of fashions, but they still preserve cheongsam. For example, Singapore don't have their traditional clothing, but during the Miss Universe, okay, 那个选美大赛, you realize every countries will use their fashions in that sense to bring out their so-called entertainment, their culture, their belief. I can tell you, Philippines is one of the countries that has the strongest Christian values. Okay, in fact, Southeast Asia country, Philippines has the most Christians people. So most of them are Catholic like myself. So how they bring about the Christian value and the Philippines cultures and entertainment is through fashion. Most of the time, it's through fashion. Seriously, okay. So Liang Ti haven't come back. So talk about this just in case, Liang Ti. So later you can watch. Okay, homonizations. You see, from local coffee shop to Starbucks, from folk dance to break dance, from traditional food to fast food. So Zhao Xuan, you're not wrong, to say that Singapore are getting for more of this than this. Because of this, thank you, Zhao Xuan. Okay, 你是突破经济独立 rose among the thorns, the answer is different. Which, if I'm the examiner, I will not look at you as that stupid. Everyone choose hybrid, you choose homo, 你神经病. No. I would like to hear from you. You see, no answer is a stupid answer. Okay, so I agree with you. No, in fact, very scary. Because the same thing like what Cao Xing has been talking about. No, last time the traditional way of this kind of dance, like lion dance, now suddenly got tap dance. Then the old folks are Cao Xing. That's why they are scared, They scared. Oh my goodness! Wow, you poor high. The natures, the value, the traditions, the style, culture of lion dance. But unfortunately, Cao Xing, nobody went to explain further to the old folks, to the senior. You get? So you need that kind of explanations, the kind of elaborations, the kind of what? Explanation, elaboration, and the last one, right? The enthusiasm. You have to bring out the enthusiasm. 各位前辈，如果我们不要 modify 这个 lion dance 这个 lion dance 这样就是绝种了，没有了。You see you get what I mean? Okay. That day I disturbed my students. My O level just finished. So you finish your O level, yeah. Are you want to do part time? Yeah, I'm going to work in the F&B. I want to work in retail. Then I disturbed him, Yang Xiang. He is a guy. So go and do pole dance. 很丢脸咩？很好笑咩？ Of course, Uncle Raymond 跳 pole dance， 整个 pole 会弯掉啦。OK， 会断掉，会 弯掉啊，等我从那个坡上掉下来，然后逼跑去医院呐、因为我太肥了，那个坡下 overload，please let go of me 啊，所以可能我会这样。But what's wrong with pole dance? I'm surprisingly in my Facebook and my Instagram I got this lady do pole dance wearing a very traditional way of entertaining to bring cultures. Hey, 人业 pole dance is a decent dance Hey, Uncle Raymond, when I was young, I do break dance, okay? It's just now I cannot do break dance, I'll break my bones. Don't laugh, I can do break dance one no. 等一下我骨折就死了，等一下我躺在床上教书咩 ？Okay, so guys, please do not take it lightly that 不可能 no such thing as pole dance. And the only dance I cannot do is Lakon line dance. 你懂那些 auntie uncle 走一条线这样跳舞 ？Because you see 任业 and Yang Xiang and the rest I'm born to be a break dancer. So I have to dance like a break dance. You ask me to line a line dance line dance are so boring, right? So that is why if line dance and break dance can form, you'll bring more people coming in. Same thing like hybridizations. The Lhasa and kimchi, can it be possible? Asian musical instrument and Western music, can it be hybrid together? 东西和平. This is what I think in Singapore now we talk about like the Vietnamese food. 那个鼎泰丰 they bring out different type of I like the best guys is McDonald's. Every time the Chinese New Year they'll come out the pineapple pie instead of the apple pie, right? The peach drinks to bring out the essence of the culture, the values and religions. You see, even McDonald's is very westernized, but it brings the hybridizations. But at the same time, guys, that's where Zhao Xuan is correct. They are actually homogenization really. You are buying McDonald's. You don't go to eat the normal coffee shop 来鸡蛋2粒 ，TAQ 一杯 ，TAQ 就是 Milo 对吧？钓鱼是那个 Chinese 的那个茶，因为它叫钓鱼。So all these things, I can use the right. Can you write down these 3 words, please? Slowly, surely, and definitely, the culture will be gone. So in order to prevent the slowly and surely and definitely, we have to do it more gradually to ensure that the next generation, though we are looking for the paradigm shift to keep changing in life, but we have to preserve the culture. So does the country really need to be this and this? Then once the country select why. So that was one of the questions, right? So to hybridizations, it means that you see just now, you see. So guys, I suspect hopefully next year if it's a SRQ, this question may come out. Take note. I know it's too early. So guys, some of you might be staying all the way to next year. Please remember this topic. I might refresh back again. So talk about these cultural harmonizations. Please look through in the textbook now. If you have the textbook, look through at the textbook here. All right. So the textbook itself, why cultural harmonizations is different and why cultural harmonization will be different. Can they have this concept of making sure that every country's look here? Is it possible? And look here. Is it possible? Is it possible for a country like Indonesia, Malaysia, they are mostly a Muslim country? Can they accept to change the way, instead of putting the songkok, the hat, and then keeping a beard here like a billy goat, okay? And then they have to go every Friday for a mosque prayer. Does it change? Okay, like Chinese, 你懂侨姓我们中国人，我们华人有初一十五，对吗？听过吗？听过吗？初一十五，你们懂得看阳日吗？ The Chinese calendar. Can you see Chinese calendar? Yang Xiang, do you know how to see Chinese calendar? 你懂几时是初一跟15吗？
不懂，
懂吗？
不懂，
不懂哦。你会看那个 calendar 吗？你懂？If you go and look at today's calendar, today is what is the calendar? Today in the AD in the they call after death of Christ, the calendar for today is 14th of November, right? 14th of November, but 在阳日在我们华人的那个日期是10月初10嘞，还有5天就是初月15了。所以每次吃初一15就要吃斋。所以你看那个 vegetarian 在新加坡你看到初一15很多人排队买斋的。 So this is okay. Chinese, you see the culture, the values. I don't. This is my value. So 我的 ex teacher 是华文老师。So 最近他去年，你看去年今年啊，他的妈咪 pass away。OK， 然后他就跟我讲 Raymond， 我现在要感谢神跟主 ，this few years take care of my mom。说现在初一15我都要吃斋。So why I tell you this? So that day I don't know. Before the COVID, I want to invite him to go out and eat lah. Say, hey, Mr. 我们出去吃吃这个。他问我sorry， 今天是15，我要吃斋的。哦 ，then cannot really. Now understand？ 因为我叫他吃 beef 啊，他不可以吃嘛，他要吃素啊，对不对 ？I want to bring him to a restaurant to eat a Western food, but because of the Chinese 初一15, that is the value now. Now you understand? It's the value, 它的价值观 you want to preserve. So you realize, sorry guys, this might not share with you in your school. If you imagine your teachers are not Chinese, but in other race, then they will share in different ways. Same thing. Do you know Muslim, they got fasting month or 人月? No, you know when they fast?
Yeah. I'm not so sure.
How long they fast?
Wait, they fast for like
I tell you, you better know it's 30 days, 1 month. Can you imagine you eat in front of a Muslim? Bagus. No, sedap. Then you can say, shut up, I'm fasting. Sorry, I drink water. You wanna? I don't want. I cannot drink. That fellow will be, GG, man. I tell you, good game. You laugh, sad to say no. And because you know why Ren Ye and Yang Xiang.
Disrespectful.
Correct. You are right. And most of the time when I know that my Muslim students or Muslim colleague or friends, I will never eat in front of them. Even I eat in front of them, I say, hey, sorry, bro. Abang, boleh makan tak? That means 我可以在你前面吃。Hey, go ahead. But I always say, sorry, I think I go there. Hey, never mind lah, eat in front lah. No. Because Yang Zhen, Yang Xiang, and Ren Ye, 1/3 of my relatives are Muslim. Okay, my brother is teaching Muslim Islamic teacher in Indonesia. 1/3 of my relatives are really pure Muslim. Okay, and then the other 1/3 so-called mostly are Indians. My son's godparents are Indian. So when I tell you what to talk about like anything like that, I'm not trying to be funny. Okay, right? So you see, I'm multiracial. I respect all race and religions. All right. So 30 days there. The old Muslims are the only religions, are the cultures. Can you tell them, okay, Muslim, no, 30 days. 1 day can already. I tell you, we're going to kill you. 来赵贤对吗 You tell them 被困不见了，被困去游泳了。哦，他回来了。我以为你去沙滩游泳了。So you see, 被困啊。You see, you can tell your Muslim friend or imagine your prime minister, you say, okay, now no more 30 days, all must work. You cannot force them, no. You cannot force them. This is their culture already. This is their religions. So no matter how homogenization it is, and you realize McDonald's also come up the Hari Raya burger, right? And another different type of burger. So you see, it's actually indirectly the homogenization that take over hybridization. Are you looking at chapter 10? Yes? Okay, good. Chapter 10, how do we respond to the tension arising from some culture? Okay, please pay attention on this topic. Okay. Now, take note of this, the American influence and Korean influence. Please read more. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ask you to become very K-pop, K-drama. But because this is, I just realized next 1 week or so, there's another question about this Korean influence. Okay, my generation was Japanese influence, the J-pop. So Korean influence has been very, very strong influence. Number one, right now in terms of technology. Agree? The first thing that comes to your mind will be Samsung and LG, right? And Hyundai car, the Hyundai car, KIA, Kia car. I call it kill in action. The Kia car, kill in action. So, where is Ren? Is he in or out? Sorry, he's out, right? Out, sorry. I just realized it. Sorry, I'm not sure what's wrong with. I think something wrong with the camera. Wait for him a while first, huh? Is she in? Oh yeah, I saw her already. I saw him, sorry. Okay. Hello, are you okay? Renye, you okay? You out right just
Yeah.
now? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's come back. So because of the K-pop, we're talking about technology. We're talking about how the foods that Koreans have bring, the different like kimchi and the technology, and also the language, and you also talk about fashions, the K-pop influence fashions. Now all these does it make, now you see one of them is the Western, which is the Americanization. Now it's the Eastern, the Korean. But now they are coming in with the Chinese influence. Does it make sense? And then the Japanese come in. Does it make sense again? So we cannot say make sense or not, please. We only can say what kind of impact will I get? Were I able to write down, were I able to receive it, okay, positively, or will I receive it negatively? What if you have received it positively and negatively? It all depends on, you see, on the countries and the company and individuals. Okay, we cannot avoid right now. We cannot avoid the increase of access and consumption of food. We cannot avoid because globalization is going to stay here for many, many years. Okay, and we are talking about because of the internet, we are going to make the world getting like string as one global village. A global village means that everyone share the same things, most of the things. But unless if you are different, then you have become outcast. Okay, so right now this is the bring out the textbook in your mind. So think about it, because this is going to impact you for your exercise in your textbook also. All right, and the exercise that I just showed you just now, the practice, the homework. Okay, by foreign cultures to become more and more seamless with respect to foreign cultures. A very good example is McDonald's. All right, and now Burger King and KFC also start to bring in spicy. What they put there? What salted chicken, very local flavor. Okay, because they know that they cannot avoid. You know why? Honestly, Yang Xiang and Ren Ye, your grandparents like to eat junk food, McDonald's, Burger King. You like that? Or your parents your parents, your parents and your grandparents, do they like to eat junk food? That means McDonald's, Burger King, yes. No, no, right?
Sorry, I couldn't hear your question just now. I was lagging.
Okay, do your parents and your grandparents love to eat junk food like McDonald's, Burger King, KFC?
Oh no.
Oh no, then how? Then you know during Chinese New Year, most of the shop in Singapore close. Only McDonald's open, right? So they still have to eat, right? Then then you order French fry, wow. Especially as a Safra member, I got free apple pie, I got free ice cream. Wow, sure. Every time I drive in, all the free things. You realize that it's the SSD effect. Remember? Slowly, surely, and definitely. You cannot avoid it. Even no matter how your parents are, I don't know about you, Hai Tong and Pei Kun and Qiao Xing and Zhao Xuan and Liang Di. Uncle Raymond, used to love junk food a lot. Only when I get older, I 一定要吃米饭. I need to eat rice. I'm a very typical Chinese. So when I went to UK and study, every day eat spaghetti until I fed up. Or one day I want to go and eat Hainan Qi Fan, I tell you, oh my goodness. Lucky I didn't go. My friend went there, my classmate went there and said, wow, 那边的英国 London 海南鸡饭 cannot make it. Even the 辣椒. The first day I came back home, I tell you, wow, my mother-in-law cooked a lot of my favorite dish, the food that I love to eat. So you see, I don't know about you guys, because eventually you guys will be 3I, you'll be being influenced, okay, being interactive to the Western culture. And the third one, we're having a strong impact. Being influenced and interactive and impact becomes to change your perceptions of your diets, DIET, of your eating habits, of the way you do things. I can tell you, children, Zhao Xuan, next time you marry with your wife, obviously with your wife, stupid question, and then you move to a new house. Your house, will you want to be something different? You will have a high tech, right? The first thing, your door and your gate will be fingerprint, right? True enough. You will not want to have key, right? Then maybe your baby's room will have something like a camera or something that a robot will take care. So at night you can sleep like sleep all the way. No need to change pamper for your son. So you realize that this is the kind of changes. You know, when you are young, I'm not sure, Qiao Xing, when you are young that time, your parents use what kind of diaper? Is it pamper or the napkin? No, the pool. You know there's a difference, right? I told you, pamper 就是那个纸尿片啦。Then 你的 daddy mommy 应该是没有 pamper 的。My generation don't have pamper. We have all the cloth one， 那个布的。哇 ，Can you imagine your 奶奶洗到要命？Imagine your daddy 整天大便啊、小便啊，哇，那个 napkin 有很多的。那个下雨啊，完蛋了。哇，你 daddy 跟我baby 的时候不用穿尿片了，赤裸裸跑来跑去了。So you see the different generations. Sometimes it's good to have pamper because of hygiene purpose. You see? No, this is something you have to take note of that. Okay, like Starbucks. This one, please take note. You will be always coming up in your school also, they like to use Starbucks. Because Starbucks, in fact, in your English paper, the visual graphic text also got Starbucks. Starbucks got 3 things, take note. One is, because I work in Starbucks for 9 months, I'm telling you. One is Starbucks is very advocate to environmental friendly right now. Okay? One is to care for the world. Right? That means environment friendly. Geography student, Starbucks is a very good example to take note. Because Starbucks, whatever they plant, they'll give that to the farmer. They educate the farmer to plant. They do not have slash and burns kind of tactic there. What happened to Indonesia every time when they got to do harvest, they have to burn and slash, and then got a lot of haze. Then the haze will come to Singapore. Now Starbucks, you see, these are all the green stuff that all the Starbucks have. One is to educate, one is to have eco-friendly. Yes?
Why doesn't Mongolia have Starbucks?
Mongolia don't have
Like when
Starbucks.
China.
Are you from Mongolia?
No. I'm just curious because like even China has.
The whole China, the Mongolia don't have. You know what is the? Do you know Mongolia is a landlocked? Landlocked, that means it's locked by land. You don't see any rivers. In fact, Mongolia is mostly half of their country are desert. Okay, and they don't really drink coffee. If I'm not mistaken, they only drink the animal's milk. Okay, why I know, because one of my friends, the wife is Mongolian. The only things that I really respect Mongolia is one leader, that is Chen Qi and Kublai Khan and Genghis Khan. This is the leader that controlled 3 continents. Okay, as a history student, I really respect Chen Qi. In fact, a lot of the Japanese during World War II tactics use how the Chen Qi attack their enemies. Okay, so I don't deal with this. So good questions. So you realize, first of all, let's be honest, Ren Ye, you study geography, right? How much fertile land is there? Not many, right? The land is not very fertile, right?
Yeah,
Mostly are desert, right? They are all horseback, correct?
it's
Not
really
very
just
fertile.
grassland.
Not many, the grassland are also not very fertile, and then the weather is not very suitable. So the reason why they also check on the third E, right? How enthusiastic they advocate to drink coffee. You are right. You one step ahead of me. Okay, first they talk about eco-friendly. They talk about educating people. The third one, how enthusiastic would they like to drink coffee? Coffee is my drug, no. I love coffee so much. Okay, I need coffee. That's why when I work in Starbucks for 9 months, I enjoy all the coffee. Okay, so yes, that's a good question. You realize Africa not many, and this part here, nobody will want to go here, especially here, this part here. This part is if I'm not mistaken, is Papua New Guinea. Okay, not many people. Only the East Timor maybe somewhere here, but East Timor is so not very okay. So Starbucks actually is originated in US. Okay, it's by two teachers, ex-teacher, then bought over the brand, and then they started the business. Okay. Now, if you want to read more of this Starbucks history, it may help you. I say not may, sorry, it will not may. It will help you to understand how globalization impacts Starbucks to the world. It really help you, seriously. Okay. So this is Italy. Now, Italy have their own coffee, but how Italy was being involved also, you see, look at Italy. Then you see, you realize Italy don't have? No? You realize Italy got no Starbucks, You see that? Oh, this is Italy, Italy, the shape of the mat is like a boots, B-O-O-T-S, 那一个女孩子的鞋来的. You see? It's like a boots, Okay. How does Starbucks plans to managing the tension in Italy? So if they want to open a cafe in Italy, how are they going to manage their culture, the way they drink coffee, the value, the way they drink, the value? I don't. That's where their value comes in already. Will that affect the values? Because Italy's are also their history are super long one. In fact, Italy history is the longest. This is where Jesus Christ came. Romans, the gladiators, the Julius Caesars. Okay, this is the Roman Empire. Okay. Okay, this I hate this girl, so rejection. Do you realize this type of clothing in the Muslim countries, especially Indonesia and Malaysia, some of the UAE, they are against it because now that is called entertainment already, and that's called fashions. But everything drilled down, say Dominican Republic banned Miley Cyrus. Sorry, I can't even pronounce his name properly. So after understanding the summer story, discussion about watching the videos. Okay, this one, please, if you want to, now you have more time, do it these 2 months, guys, and watch the video about how Starbucks history, all this thing. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time. But after watching, already you want to find certain uncle. I watched this video about this, that I explained to you. Okay, one of the stories about Starbucks is about how they help the farmer who plant coffee and help their children to go for educations, and how they help their farmers to regrow the seed, the coffee beans, the seed, and how it makes them to continue. Because you see, our children, you have to understand, go back to this one. Some of the country here, coffee and rubbers are many years, cocoa many years, but they have to come to this country to look for different types of coffee. Okay, Africa got their African coffee because of their number one, geography student, you know, the soil fertility of the soil, okay, the climate, and then the water, and then the people they farm based on their way they farm their coffee is different from the other country. So when they sell coffee like into Singapore, their packagings, they go to another place, maybe to India. Then after they fly to Thailand, then come to Singapore. So there's many process. And look through the process. It really helps you. If you are going to study in a JC about economies, about finance and business, about import and export, this is a very good topic to talk about it, okay? I don't think many teachers will explain to you this one, but this is in real life. Okay, I'm speaking for myself, working there for 9 months in Paragon. Okay, some of you, one of my students, uncle, I want to work in Starbucks. Do you still have contact with that managers? Yes, I do have it, but this is sideline. Okay, so look at this. You see, Italy's and instance of rejection of foreign cultures. You see, by some countries because it affects their values. I don't. It affects their values. 他的价值观 cannot. Hey, hello, my great grandfather make coffee in this way, no. My great grandfather had this kind of coffee from Italy, no. It's a brand there. It's a history there. It's a culture that we bring out. You want me to change to Starbucks? No way. Then the Starbucks have to change to modify into hybrid heat. Because you see, 贝坤 TU 用了，出来了贝坤 imagine you're Starbucks CEO and your boss and your staff tell you, 老板 Italy got 5 million people drink coffee. Will you want to give up this opportunity? No, right? You definitely want to go, right? Just like Ren Ye and Yang Xiang got this story about a father who sent the 2 children to go to Africa. First son came back saying, Father, nobody wear shoe in Africa. Don't sell shoe in Africa. The second son say, Father, nobody wear shoe in Africa. I think there's a great opportunity to educate, to entertain, and to enthuse them to buy shoe. That's how Nike and Adidas go to Africa. Okay? The word is predominance language open up more opportunities. So English itself, that's how the question, remember, Haitong? Talk about in language, right? English, right? Is English an international language? So we cannot use English to talk to them, right? In Italy, right? Then use Italian. Then use Italian. Italy, coffee. This is very nice. You say something like that. You see, Ren Ye is drinking coffee now. Very nice. Okay, so let's don't just pretend you're drinking coffee lah. Since we are talking in the coffee, okay? So maybe the loss of culture and history, very seriously. Now you understand why the Italy people there, they cannot change their mindset. They die must buy this Italian coffee. Okay, that's the reason. So you see, are blended, resulting in a unique combination. Very hard for people like Italy who have a deep rooted of culture, deep rooted of value, deep rooted of certain religions. They may not want to change it unless you change your things to suit my taste. Then it's acceptable. Just like Ren Ye, 你喝茶you don't, there's this thing called 茶道吗? The art of tea, right? You know the Japanese, the way they make tea, and the Chinese, the way they brew the teas, right? So imagine if I love tea a lot, and I got one China student, now he's studying in Japan, surprised me. His mom give me a tea set, I look at it, wow, it's really, they are very advocate in tea, 茶道. Because all the settings got pour to this tea, to filter this tea, and then you drink this tea, and then different cup, different contain, different kind of bowl, what I call it, the jar to pour the teas. So this is the culture of values. So if you suddenly change the tea into different concept, you are eroding 1,000 years of history. Nobody will want to do that. 你有没有看那个问第2集吗？那个洪金宝在跟那个外国打架的时候，有吗？他有讲过，他不是洪师傅，他不是讲洪师傅 give up， 他说 I can down, but I cannot disgrace the Chinese martial art. Wow, this is the part what he says is very true. A bit of you. I can down, but I cannot 丢脸 of what the martial art, the Chinese. If you do that, that means people look at you. So 学武之道都是要知道这个很来龙去脉，整个的那个道，知道的道理，那个道理 ，that is the value. So 海通，你写的就是很深奥、很深刻。So 你不只是这样讲 shape the value， 怎么 shape 呢 ？In order to prevent for shape, you must enforce that kind of learning, ensure that the learning is prolonged. Then your answer will be better. Okay. Okay, just like this one, got me, okay? 海彤，不是海彤，赵轩，同业的才，同业，不是赵轩，我叫错了。You say harmonization. You think it's good to have this? So imagine, La Siena, all this, okay, all this very English, Kana Langa Lolly. You know what is this now? That means I got a crash, an accident with a lorry. Kana Langa, this is a Malay word. Kana means involve an accident with a lorry. Can or not? 不要笑哈。Eat what eat eat what Drink go down 喝下去就喝下去，还有 drink go down， 跳下去来 jump go down Very English See what see？ 你看什么看？Really 咩？God 咩？You see what all these things does it Go fly kite lah. Chop chop leh. You see all these things, see how anything lor. Okay, realize all this is very Singlish. It brings the, you laughing, right? Laugh what laugh, Zhao Xuan. Laugh what laugh, very funny man. So does it make sense to have a Singlish now, Ren Yue and Yang Xiang? Does it make sense to have this Singlish now? Or hang
I mean, it's important. I mean, like it's like national identity, I guess.
You talk rocks lah. The government say must speak good English, no, must be Victorian. Hello, excuse me, sir. Would you mind speak proper English? Then you say nationality. Ayo, please tolong lah. Singlish to Singlish lah. Why you so particular one? So Yang Xiang, can you imagine now you work in Shenton Way? You know Shenton Way are all the bankers and the lawyers, the big businessmen, and then you talk like that. Hey, eat what, When you go, hey, tap out for me, can or not? You see, you talk like that. Don't laugh, nothing wrong. I work in this kind of places before. Okay, when you talk to the Amo, even the Amo also talk like that. Hey, never call me leh. I was like, oh my gosh, Amo talk like that. So you are not wrong. I'm just kidding, you have to blend in. They say when you are in Rome, behave like a Rome. Right? Also, when you are in that country, you behave like the country. So when you go to that country, you know you cannot eat chewing gum, don't eat. You go to the country, you cannot do this, you don't do. You follow the law. You abide against the abide from the law. So Yang Xiang, you're not wrong. It's nationality, it's identity. Can you imagine that Yang Xiang and Ren Yue, all of you go overseas and study one day? Then suddenly you met in, let's say you go to Cambridge to study. Then you go to Cambridge shopping center or London. Then you go to the shopping center, you heard a couple saying, why you like that, Then you approach, hey, you Singaporean, Hey, you know me? How come, I also talk like that, Hey, kakinan, 自己人, steady, boom, pipi, correct, guys? But if you hear, hey, 为什么这样的？不是这样做的。from China. Then you see Malaysia. 急死我了咯。Malaysian， 对吗？ You realize that? Yes. Then 你去台湾，怎么这样可以的呢？台湾人闽南语。You realize that those, ladies and gentlemen, this is, I agree with you, Yang Xiang. The cultures, the nationality, can you write down the identity? It's all about identity. It's nothing wrong to have this English. But when you write, of course, you write proper English. That's why they are saying, is English the mother tongue or is English the national language? And in Singapore, it is a national language. Why? Because you have to understand Singapore has different races. If we were to choose Chinese or Mandarin as the national language, I tell you, good luck. It happened to Sri Lanka, okay? It's the old SS textbook. Sri Lanka took Sinhalese as the national language. And they told the Tamils to say that if you cannot complete Sinhalese language, you will not get a job in the government sector. Within 3 years, you must learn Sinhalese. If you cannot complete this, sorry, you're out of the government job. And in Sri Lanka at that time, if your T score, like PSLE T score, for example, you go to for example, O level, below 10 points, you can go Maxen. So this is regardless of Chinese, Malaysian, Indian. But in Sri Lanka, is that only the Sri Lanka who score 30 points can go Maxen. Okay, but for the Tamils, you must score 5 points, then you go Maxen. Then it's bring out the bar. So that's why they got this Tamil tiger to have terrorism in Sri Lanka for many years. Until recently, the Tamil tiger, no more. Sri Lanka is back to independence fair. Because before that, Sri Lanka was taken care by the British power. So when they left, they left a vacuum power and the two of them struggled. And of course, other races affected. Thus, social studies study about them. But now, social study don't study the Sri Lanka conflict because no more Tamil tigers, which is a group of terrorists who attack the government of Sinhalese. Just like Northern Ireland. In fact, Northern Ireland is now having this problem between the Catholic and the Protestant. So these religions, okay? So Americanizations. In fact, it's true. Now we got this Hollywood and Bollywood. Now we got K-drama. Now we got Chinese drama. I asked a lot of my students, children, a lot of them say what? No? I asked a lot of students say, do you watch Singapore drama? Nobody will say yes. How? During the 80s and 90s, we watched a lot of Singapore made drama. So now you see, because of getting not just Americanization anymore, children, maybe next 10 years of when you are daddy, mommy, maybe this one no more called Americanization already. It become maybe Chinese already, more Chinese. You realize now China's also got a lot of nice. Recently got this movie about Chang 什么金 about the fighting one. You know what movie I'm talking about, right? The war movie. 长湖金什么湖, right? You know, right? It's about a true story about the North Korea war, right? You know about this movie? Yang Di,
Is
do you
it-
know about this movie?
No, I don't think that's what it's called though.
It's 长什么湖金长什么金, right? It's a war movie. It's a true story about how China's helped the North Korea to defend the South Korea. Okay, it's one of the best movie I'm yet to watch. What do you think about the reason and evidence? Okay, so we will stop this one here. Okay, we will talk about entertainment lesson because we got one more things to cover for you all. Let me stop sharing. Your homework also have to read out these because I have to do multitasking. Okay, chapter 5. Okay, why is there greater diversity in Singapore? Please revisit this topic again. Okay. Why the early migrants to Singapore come from? Also take note of this. And why do they come from in the 1900s? All these will impact of foreign talents. And how do you think the reason for settling Singapore have been changed over time? That means, can you write the PPF? The past the past migrants that come to Singapore, which is like Nanyang Xiang, like from China, from India, from Southeast Asia, coming to Singapore during Sir Stamford Raffles' time, and then during World War II. And the present time now, how the peoples come to Singapore that makes the impact through culture, through technology, through education. Then what about the future generations of people who come to Singapore? Now, because last time people come to Singapore is to start all over again, 就是白手起家, you know, to learn those like Old Chang Kee, for example. Now, Old Chang Kees are now modernized. They can buy online. But what about the future of Old Chang Kee? Ya Kun, for example. Ya Kun at that time was to cover the coolie, but makes cheap food for them to eat. But now Ya Kun is more to like in the mall. You can see the branded, the name become international brand. The name becomes so popular. The name becomes like globalizations. Like multinational company, just like BreadTalk, for example. So how are we going to move to the next future step? What kind of prospect, what kind of paradigm shift would that be? That's what social studies is about. How will you see for it? Like now, last time, primary school, you use chalk and board, right? Now you got iPad. What is the future generation is going to use in education? So this is something that social study is very fluid. Okay. So just to stop here, wait, and then go back to the lesson today. Okay, for the set, the two of you just came in, just to share with you. Okay, so this will be the homework here. So if you are Prime Minister of your country, which will you prefer? Homogenization or hybridization? Why, how, and what will you think the effect will be? So one of them, the question just now I posed to you about the SRQ, and this is the second question. And of course, this is a last week questions. So I'm telling you, every week there will be you will be accumulated. So for example, Yang Xiang, for example, you want to continue with Uncle or Ren Yan, you want to continue with Uncle Raymond tuition. So for example, now it's in March already. So you want to do November or December homework, by all means. You just put that, Uncle Raymond, this is December homework. I want to submit. 明白吗, Haidong? So there is no such thing. You 3 months homework, then you hand in. I always believe as some student handing homework means they want to learn. They want to see how they do well. I will never go and complain and say, your son and daughter 3 months homework, then hand in. Hey, please, I don't like to do this kind of thing with parents, please. And please don't go and your parent can tell me, I got student come, they like your lesson, but they don't do homework, therefore they don't want to come in to have tuition. Then I cannot stop it. That's between you and your parents. Okay. So as far as concerned, this is recorded, there will be homework. Okay. And how you're going to hand in your homework? You can, after 3 months, you hand in, 3 weeks, you hand in. But please remember, children, when school reopen, always hand in your school homework first. Okay? And then, of course, on top of that, if your school homework, you want to clarify with me, like Jia Ling, and some of them, my ex-student now, they just graduate Set 4, they ask me, Uncle Raymond, this is my school homework. You know this one, Yi Chen, right? I told Yi Chen and Hao Rui. This or maybe Liang Di will know, right? Yi Chen and Hao Rui. They will sometimes WhatsApp me, email me, Uncle Raymond, this is my school homework. Can you check for me? I'm very glad to help you. Okay. So this is the Yang Xiang and Ren Ye, sorry. This is the question that I spotted. So next year I'm spotting these two. So issue 1 and issue 3. So we are talking more on the climate changes, okay? For next year O level. So this is the year I already predicted the questions. Not 100%, but this year was 100%, and last year also 100%. Quite close 100%. So okay, this is what we talk about. That's all. So next week we still want to talk about chapter 5. So for these few weeks, I want to cover a bit of issue 2 and issue 3. To inline these two first. To inline this one, I want to do the SRQ first. Agree, Hai Tong? I think a lot of students like the practice. Ren Ye and Yang Xiang, you agree with me? How many practice do you have so far in school? Ren Xiang, let's start first. Yang Xiang, sorry. Yang Xiang, how many SRQ? Okay, so I stop my lesson now. Okay, that's all. I just want to hear from the opinion. Then we end the day. How many lessons have you had for SRQ?